Welcome, everyone. Race 33 of 36 for the Darkside Mustangs A² Cup Series. We are in Las Vegas, Sin City, for the Nevada 200. Right now we're looking at Jeremy Breo as he runs qualifying laps here. Aboard Jeremy Breo. He's on his first lap. This lap's probably invalidated. You'll see lap times pop up on the left-hand side of your screen. Bryn Roberts, the first one to set a lap time. Belleville behind him. Wanzing goes top of the board. Does Breo get close? Provisional pole for Jimmy Breo. Donald Ray on a lap time. James Kerr goes provisional pole. Noah Belleville takes pole away. Can Donald Ray do something about it? First lap in the books for Donald Ray, P3. He's got a chance for pole. Second lap's the fastest lap. He's got 1400ths to gain. Drifts up the wall. Tagged the wall. And that'll do his qualifying session in. His teammate, however, Tom Sears. We'll see how he runs tonight. His first lap underway. Where does it put Sears? Is it good enough? For 10th so far, ahead of John Smeal. There's your comparison on screen between Sears and Smeal. Was that enough for Sears to go up? It was, up to P6. Third Team Outlaw car we get to watch set a qualifying lap. This time it's Dustin Painter. Dustin Painter rolling through turns 3 and 4. We'll see what his first lap looks like. Him and Blankenship on lap times here as we approach the halfway point in qualifying. Painter 14th, Blankenship 11th on the leaderboards after the first laps. We'll see what Dustin can do. Rolling through turns 1 and 2 here in Las Vegas. Blankenship went 5th fastest. Painter stays in 14th. Tommy Withers will be the next to come out of pit lane. Still in the playoff hunt. In the round of 8. All the drivers still in the playoffs, marked in silver and black. Drivers not in the playoffs, marked in the red and white. First lap underway for Withers. Going 2, 3, and 4. First lap in the books for Withers. It was a tidy lap. Puts him ahead of Briley Wright. 15th out of 16 that's qualified so far. 21 cars overall will take part in this event. Mark Dila, Elbridge George, Patrick Allen, Matthew Kinn, Ryan Pinnell have not set qualifying times in this session. Briley Wright, not Briley, Tommy Withers. See if he can get even further than 15th. Up the order, all the way up to P5 for Tommy Withers. Briley Wright will be the last of those qualified. But Tommy Withers up to the top 5 in qualifying here. Really good effort there by the number 6. Looks like that might do it for qualifying here. .35 of counting. But Noah Belleville on pole position here tonight over Seth Wansing, Josh Gaiman, and Jacob Blankenship. When we get ready to go green here. Alrighty, everyone, it is showtime here in Sin City. We're in Las Vegas on a very special weekend here. It's the beginning of the round of 8 as we begin the final 4 races in pursuit of the championship in 2022. I'm Clayton Hardy. Thank you all for spending your Sunday evening with us here on RX Racing Networks. Here's a look at the track, 1.5 miles around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 68 degrees, the track tempo over 104. It's going to be a spicy track this evening. Everyone's got a little bit of adjusting to do with the heat, constantly changing. Noah Belleville, Seth Wansing on the front row. Josh Gaiman, Jacob Blagage will make up row number 2. Again, all of those still in the playoffs marked in silver, those outside the playoffs marked in red. Tommy Withers and Donald Ray, another row of playoff drivers sitting in row number 3. For Withers, one of his best qualifying performances all season at a very critical time this late into the season. Kevin Feemster trying to play spoiler. He'll be alongside Tom Sears in row 4. Row 5, James Kerr and Toby Estes. Bren Roberts and Jeremy Breo will be in row number 6. Looking a little bit further on down the field here, John Smeal in the 7th row alongside Jason Alexander. Dustin Painter and Bradley Wright in row number 8, the last of those that set qualifying lap times here this evening. Matthew Kent, Patrick Allen, row 9, row 10, Ryan Pinnell and Elrich George. Mark Dilla in the last row, row 11 by himself, that number 52 car, I should clarify, at the very back of the field. It's almost time to get going here in Vegas on the 11th anniversary of Dan Blunn's passing. Whole reason I got into racing to begin with. We get to do what we love best, and that is race here this evening. Belleville, Wansing, Gaiman, Blankenship top 4. Pace car in pit lane, green flag in the air, and the Nevada 200 is underway here in Las Vegas. Caution's out. And it's Breo that's around. Brian Penelme had gotten through it, but Jeremy Breo in some pretty significant trouble. Here's what happened. Breo 3 wide. Does he get help? Oh yeah, he does. Kevin Feemster gets him and sends him right around. I think that was Jason Alexander that almost lost it. Yeah, he was right there. He almost got a huge piece of this one. And just really good avoidance there. Gonna ride on board with Kevin Feemster. First caution of the race. See what Feemster saw in the number 1 machine. Hard to say. I think Breo thought he was clear. And it turns out he wasn't. And that's just a hard situation. 3 wide going into 1, where you really want to kind of funnel down into either a 2 wide or single file situation. It gets difficult. First caution of the race. Two-car incident between Kevin Feimster and Jeremy Breo. But all 20 cars that took the green flag still running in this race. Everyone about to make the choose cone here. So, Belleville, Wansing. Front row. As we get ready for some racing once again. Again, first round, first stage of the round of 8. Started with 16 drivers competing for the playoffs, competing for the championship. Now we're down to 8. Belleville still looking for his first win in the series. And away we go once again. Lap 6 now underway. A little bit of three-wide situation. That's Rich George in the back. Trying to make some action happen in number 40. Interesting to see him trying to move around here. Still pretty well packed together as they go into turn 3. Further on back, Rich George trying to get close to the top 10 here. So far, he's sitting in the 12th spot, battling with Jason Alexander at 53. Josh Gaiman's made his way around Wansing. Gaiman wants to go for the race lead. And he's going to do so on the outside lane. 61. One of the championship favorites to the front. Still side by side, Wansing and Belleville. Two Missouri drivers going wheel to wheel. Wansing will win that one out at the moment. Wansing ahead of Belleville, who rounds out the top 3. Blegic 4th, Estes 5th, Withers in 6th. Bradley Wright, who started 16th in this race, already up to the top 10 in 7th. Matthew Kent up to 8th. Kevin Feimster in 9th. Donald Ray has slipped down to 10th place in this race. Wansing wants to try to go for the race lead. And they will still be side by side. Wansing will take the lead going into turn 1. Can he hold on to it? Wansing really holding on to that white line. Almost had too much of that white line. And it's going to give momentum back to the 61. Who's going to clear again. Wansing will slip in between the 61 and the 41 to give it another go. A little bit further back, Withers up on the very top lane. Rim riding. around the entry of turn 3. He's falling backwards a little bit. That's right. There's Matthew Kitten at 31 trying to get around him. Feimster and James Kerr battling behind him. The 75 of Kerr making up his position. That's up to 9th for the 75. Still side by side, Gaiman and Wanzing at the front of the field. Wanzing trying again. Had a lot of success in turns 3 and 4 last time around, but couldn't hold it in 1 and 2. Gaiman holds on to it here. Not as close of a battle there across the line that time around, but Wanzing still putting pressure on the 61. Blankenship's caught right up to the 85. Excuse me, Blankenship's in the 85. It's Belleville he's got up to. Estes in pursuit as well. 6 cars really under a blanket, trying to give chase to the 2 race leaders. Gaiman again still leading by about a little over a 10th. And then Belleville sits in 3rd behind Wanzing. See a little bit of a battle further on back. I believe that is Withers. It is Withers the 6, battling with James Kerr. Kerr on the outside lane. Irish George has made his way up to 11th place here. Strong battle between him and the 2 Team Outlaw teammates, Dustin Painter and Tom Sears. Three wide situation almost. That is a 3-wide situation. That's George and Painter. Almost contact between the 40 and the 65. It got the 40 really squirrely and it checked up the outside lane. Painter goes through for 9th. Brayo back up into the top 10. The 74 for Team Sideswipe, sneaking his way on through as well. Belleville making an attempt on the 61 of Gaiman. He got around Wanzing, keeping an eye on this battle. 2 wide in 2 rows. And Belleville's going to keep it planted on the bottom. Noah Belleville, our pole sitter, wants the lead back. He won't lead at the line. It's still Gaiman's lap. But really good consistency and pressure by Noah Belleville. Not only to dispatch of Wanzing, but to try to give Josh Gaiman some trouble. They're still going to be side by side once again going into 3 as Withers tries to battle with Bradley Wright. That was further on back in the background there. Belleville just cleared Gaiman, sent it through turns 3 and 4. Belleville back to the front. Belleville's a driver that, if he's able to do a full season next year, he will be a championship contender. Blankenship and Gaiman, 2 side by side, 2 of the favorites for the championship, sitting battling for 2nd behind Belleville. Just kind of explain how good Belleville can be. That's what that means. Estes also pretty well in contention. Same with Wanzing, 4 playoff drivers chasing down Belleville. Right now, Belleville looking really good. Stage break, I believe, is on lap 40. Let me double check on that. But I believe it is lap 40. Indeed, it is lap 40 for the end of stage 1. Belleville leading at lap 20. Can he lead up until lap 40? That's what he would like to do. Gaiman beginning to slip backwards. Blankenship's going to try to get around him. Estes comes down pit lane. That was of his own volition. Belleville's hoping that Blankenship and Gaiman battle it out a little bit more. He's almost a half-second lead. Oh, he just might. He just might get what he wanted. Blankenship could not stay planted on the bottom like Belleville could. A little bit of the dirty air being an issue. Blankenship, a little bit of latency there for the 85. As Estes comes out of pit lane. Estes will go one lap down. Bradley Wright also came in, so team strategy play. Both Bluegrass Bandits cars in pit lane here. Planes are trying to reel in the 41 of Belleville. Gaiman getting really loose. He's burned up some of his tires. Big time. Belleville has checked out, set sail. 5/10 between Belleville and Blankenship. That is over half a second now. 1.3 between the top four. Dustin Painter up to 5th. Donald Ray sitting at 6th. See Toby Estes in the 19. He's now battling for position. He's trying to get his lap back. Bradley Wright in pit lane. Patrick Allen also a lap down. Both of them came down pit lane. Estes gets around the 85 of Blankenship. See if that helps Blankenship at all or if it hurts him. As we approach lap 26 here at Las Vegas. Belleville doing a really good job so far of leading this race by 6/10. Estes not helping Belleville, or helping Belleville, not having Blankenship at all. 7/10 now the gap. Blankenship is struggling in that dirty air now produced by 2 cars instead of just 1. As Estes tries to get around Belleville here. Belleville beginning to let it hang out just a little bit. He's got 3/4 of a second between himself and Jacob Blankenship. The big question is, can he hold it for another 13 laps? Belleville again holding on to the lead. It's now up to 1.25 over Jacob Blankenship, who's now got to deal with Josh Gaiman once again. They have fallen out of the draft range of the race leader, which is a big deal here in Las Vegas. So they're going to go about it side by side. Blanchard holds on, but for how long can he hold on here at Vegas? In stage 1. Gaiman goes to the bottom here. Blanchard defends the top lane. Almost a 2-second gap. This is the battle for second. Dustin Painter up to 4th. Keep an eye on that 65. He's looking for a really good run tonight. Still side by side, battling for second. They've allowed Painter to get close. Donald Ray sits 5th. Pretty firmly at the moment by about a second. This is the battle for second place. Painter firmly in the mix. For Estes, this helps him out a ton. He stays on the lead lap, and he ensures that his competitors in Gaiman and Blankenship, they don't win stage 1 because he's pulled Belleville to a 3-second lead. Belleville's done a phenomenal job of just maintaining that pace that he's got, and he's walking away with it right now. Blankenship struggling now. Painter on his rear end. Can Painter try to get around and take 3rd place away? Painter in fine form this evening. Painter very well might. He's got the pace to do it. We're on that 34 now of 134. Stage break in 7 laps. Donald Ray comes in. Believe Blanchard might be coming in. No, he's not. Painter just had a really good run through 3 and 4. Blanchard pulls on to 3rd at the moment. But it seems like it's a matter of time with 6 to go in stage 1 that Painter's going to take it away. He may take it away here. Painter on the outside lane will jump up to 3rd place. He will jump to 3rd. Another point lost for Blankenship in his battle with Josh Gaiman at the top of the field. Tom Sears sitting in 5th. He's doing a phenomenal job so far as well. Don't neglect the 14 of Tom Sears. Josh Gaiman comes in. Gaiman elects to come in. The issue is that will he be able to stay on the lead lap here? That is the huge question for Josh Gaiman and for Donald Ray. Ray went a lap down. Withers a lap down. Wanting a lap down. This could be a big deal. Coming to 4 to go in stage number 1 for Noah Belleville. Josh Gaiman still in pit lane. He will firmly go a lap down. He won't even be the first car 1 lap down at this rate and time. That'll currently belong to Seth Wanzing. This is that battle out of pit lane. There's Seth Wanzing right there. As we said, Wanzing's going to be the first car a lap down, but none of them are even close enough to get a lap back at the moment. 13 cars on the lead lap. Jason Alexander, the next car to go a lap down. He's right in front of the 41 of Belleville. 3 to go, stage 1. Alexander makes it easy. Belleville goes by. Alexander now the first car a lap down, which is not what Wanzing wanted. Estes still staying ahead. So Alexander should be the last car to go a lap down here. Belleville coming to 2 laps to go in stage 1. A 4.4 second lead between him and Dustin Painter. Tom Sears sits third. Matthew Kent comes in. He'll drop from the top 5. James Kerr also comes in. But they will be in pit lane. They will not be an issue for Belleville as he comes to the white flag lap for stage number 1. Here's Dustin Painter. Belleville came in. So this will be Dustin Painter taking the lead of stage 1 on the last lap. Team Outlaw with a 1-2 at the front of the field on the last lap of stage number 1. Painter has not won a stage all year long. It will change here in Vegas. Dustin Painter, with Tom Sears in tow, will win his first stage of 2022. Coming out of turn 4. Caution will come out. And we end stage 1. Josh Gaiman will be the first car. 1 lap down. So he'll get the lucky dog. Everyone else will have to try to get the wave around here when the leaders pit. All 20 cars that took the start here are still running. Dustin Painter, first stage win of the year. Tom Sears in second. Jeremy Breo in third. John Smeal fourth. Bryn Roberts, Ryan Pinnell, Toby Estes, Noah Belleville, Jacob Blankenship, and Josh Gaiman round out the top 10, the point scorers in stage number 1. Belleville got really lucky there. Actually, Belleville could be really lucky there because he didn't go a lap down. So he should inherit the race lead here. Gaiman will get the lucky dog here. You saw him pulling up to the pace car. That's Matt Kent and the 31 behind him. Then you have Seth Wansing, Donald Ray, Tommy Withers, Patrick Allen. There's Kevin Feemster in the 1. James Kerr behind Bradley Wright, Rich George. And Belleville looks to come in anyway. Top off with fuel. Why not? So now it's all about the race off pit lane. Belleville has pit stall number 1. He will take tires here. Painter will beat him out. Painter will take the lead and hold on to it. I think Belleville took fuel only on that first stop, and now he took tires here, because we saw all 4 tires go on at number 41. Yeah, Blankenship and Ryan Pinnell still in pit lane. Alrighty, we are about to go back green here, I believe, at the end of the next lap. So everyone's got one more lap of reprieve before we start stage number 2. A lot of cars getting the wave around here. The field getting ready to go green. Wave rounds are catching back up to the field. So it's almost showtime for stage 2 here in Las Vegas. Dustin Painter, Bren Roberts, Tom Sears, Toby Estes, Jeremy Breo, and John Smeal, top 6. And it looks like they extended the caution by a lap. Not sure what happened. So, now we're going green at the end of this lap. Looks like there might have been contact between Allen and Wright that would have forced them to come back down pit lane. So it's Painter, Roberts, Sears, Estes, Breo, Smeal, Pennell, Gaiman, top 8 in this field. Green flag back in the air. And once again, we're racing in Las Vegas. Tom Sears went all the way down below the white line, trying to get the second place, and he will do that in a flashy style. Painter leads, Sears second. Estes holds on to third. Jeremy Breo back up to the top 5. He's sitting in 4th in front of Ryan Pennell. Noah Belleville making his way back into the top 6. Caution's out. Matthew Kent's involved, and he has spun around completely. He's stuck on that apron right there. What happened to 31? Oh, contact. Ryan Pennell, teammates there. No, that's Blankenship, excuse me. And ours George got a piece of it. See if we can get a good look here. This would be from Blankenship's on board, similar to how Jeremy Breo spun. Blankenship almost had a rough time. I wish George did have a rough time. Dustin Painter leads. Which George in pit lane got repairs. Matthew Kent still on pit lane getting repairs. I believe Donald Ray will get the lucky dog. He will get the lucky dog here. Dustin Painter still leads. That's a team outlaw 1-2 at the moment. Their teammate Donald Ray just got back on the lead lap. He sits in 13th. Third caution of the race. Second for an incident. This time between Jacob Blankenship, Matthew Kent, and Elrich George. Kent still on pit lane. Elrich George one lap down with Seth Wansing and Tommy Withers and Patrick Allen. Bradley Wright, Jason Alexander, and Matthew Kent still on pit lane at the moment. Alrighty, 1 to go. Until we're back racing again. We're in stage 2. Stage 2 ends on lap 80. Alrighty. Almost showtime once again. Painter, Sears, Breo, Estes, top 4. 5th and 6th, Pinnell and Smeal. 7th is Belleville. 8th is Roberts. Green flag in the air. Really good start by Painter. Breo will immediately go to 2nd just by how good of a launch Painter had. Breo was ready for it. Sears was not. But we're back underway in Las Vegas. Brea took the lead there. Painter dropping down to third. Might be drawing further than that. Tom Sears in the outside lanes when he get around him. And Josh Gaiman's on his way to the front as well. Brian Pennell keeping an eye on that number 12 machine. He's looking good right now as well. Noah Belleville sitting in the 7th spot. He's right there at the edge of your screen. I should go on board with Ryan Pennell. Here's an on board from the number 12 machine, Ryan Pennell. Georgia native. On the outside lane. Right at the front, still leads. But it's a run to stage 2, or run to the end of stage 2. Can Brea hold on that long? Over 20 laps to go until that point in the race. Brea still battling. It's really a 6-car battle for rallying for this race lead. Ryan Pennell holding on 6/10 behind the race leader. Estes will lead this lap, just barely, but he led it. Good effort by the 19 to lead that lap. Estes trying to walk away with it here. He's doing a really good job so far. trying to really cement himself in this top 6 as the guy to beat, because Belleville's not in this conversation. Belleville is right back here in 7th place, just a little bit off. He's in the middle of no man's land because Blankenship and Feemster are battling for 8th place. Painter trying to move his way forward. They'll go 3 wide out of 4 for a second. Gaiman's going to get boxed in out of 4. Team Outlaw teammates working both against each other and with each other here. As Sears in the wall. He's got to keep it steady. It forced Gaiman to check up enough for Painter to get by. Painter up to 3rd. Behind Estes and Breo. Painter right there trying to get 2nd place. He's again on the charge. Coming to 15 to go in stage 2. Trying to chase down Toby Estes. Dustin Painter having a phenomenal race tonight. Back up to 2nd for the 65. He is trying all he can to try to get back to the front of the field. And he looks pretty unstoppable at the moment. Estes again leading this race, but Painter trying to change that here with less than 16 to go, 15 to go right now. Keep an eye on the white 41. Noah Belleville up to 4th. He's also on the charge. Tires beginning to wear. Everyone's got a little bit of a handful. We'll see if fuel's an issue or not. Keep an eye again on this battle. Top 3. Estes has the lead. Painter and Belleville want it. Dustin Painter looking really good so far. Toby Estes, who he's trying to get around. Estes in the playoffs, in the round of 8. Trying to get some extra bonus points to kind of give himself a little bit of a buffer. It's Vegas this week, Homestead next week, and Martinsville rounding out the round of 8. Martinsville is a game where anyone can do anything at any given time. And Estes wants to be as ready for it as possible. Painter and Belleville both trying to play spoiler. And they are there. They are both right there within half a second of the race leader. Caution's out. And it might be Oh, it was Gaiman. That was a hard hit for the 61. And that is a severely broken car. He's got next to no turning ability whatsoever. That car is very, very, very broken. Contact, that is Gaiman and Blankenship, but it looks like Gaiman got loose on his own. Yeah, he got loose on his own. Contact with the 85. And that's kind of where we started picking up here. And we saw this. And unfortunately for Josh Gaiman, disastrous for him as he tries to just make it back to pit lane. Go back to Josh Gaiman here again. We're going to see if we can go on board with him here. Gonna need to do cockpit cam here. And you watch him. He gets loose. Gets loose again. Can't save it. Gets clobbered. And nothing Withers can do. And he gets tagged pretty hard. Several cars involved in this event. And Josh Gaiman. We'll zoom out a little bit. So yeah, Gaiman and Blankenship involved. Almost got Tom Sears. Kevin Feemster. That's the one car Feemster. Withers involved. James Kerr also involved. 5-6 cars in this accident altogether. You'll be happy to know Gaiman is on pit lane. Bad part is he's got to take manual repairs, but he might be able to get away with it. Just might. And that was something that we thought was a potential issue going into this weekend. Vegas, the last time we were here, the cars got really floaty. They got really loose. The drivers were not happy with how the long run pace was in these cars. And we haven't seen it as bad. We've seen very interesting strategy calls, but we hadn't seen that yet. But obviously for Josh Gaiman, it's struck once again. He is still in pit lane, firmly a lap down at this point. And his championship campaign for the round of 8 has gotten off on the wrong foot. It's not impossible. A win in your end situation still exists at Homestead and Martinsville, but it has thrown Josh Gaiman on the back foot, as he will still be in pit lane. Patrick Allen leading pit lane will pass him for 15th in this stage of the event. So Estes starting the bottom lane. Justin Painter up on the top lane. As you get ready to go racing here. Toby Estes, our race leader. Painter in second. Painter won stage 1. He's looking to see if he can win stage 2, but it is going to be a sprint race here. Estes, Painter, Belleville, Breo top 4, Ryan Pennell 5th, Bryn Robertson 6th, Donald Ray, Tom Sears top 8, John Smealan 9th, 10th, Jacob Blankenship, 11th, James Kerr. Pace car is going to pull into pit lane. Toby Estes has the control. And a way better start from the bottom. You saw Belleville was right on it with Toby. So Belleville immediately up to second place, but now it's going to be a battle between the top 2. Belleville was faster before that caution. Can he recapture that speed with 6 to go? Estes trying to break a little bit of the draft. Painter down to 6th. Did not get the restart he wanted, and it shows. 5 to go in stage 2. Sears up to second. Keeping on the 14 of Sears. Sears going for the race lead. Tutsulian is duking yet up front. Sears still the race lead, and he absolutely lit a fire in it. 2-tire stop for Sears. 2-tire stop for Blankenship. Blankenship trying to move to the front. But Tom Sears trying to walk away with the stage 2 lead. Blankenship's going to try to reel him in. Pit stops were smart. Three to go in stage 2. It's Sears, Blankenship at the front. Estes holding on for third for dear life. James Kerr trying to take third place away, and he will do so. Belleville trying to take fourth away. So Toby Estes, the floodgates have opened, and he is hemorrhaging spots and points. 2 to go, stage number 2. Estes in the wall. Luckily, Bryn Robertson and Jeremy Brayo not close enough to take advantage just yet. But still 2 to go in the stage. Sears trying to stay away from Blankenship, trying to hold on for another stage win. This race is now mission critical for locking yourself in to the round of 4. Championship 4 Phoenix, broadcasted on ABN. Who's going to be in that party? Stage 2. Last lap. Who's going to take the bonus points here? How much will the bonus points matter if one of these two wins this race? Hard to argue against either of them at the moment. Out of turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Sears will hold on. He will win stage number 2 ahead of Jacob Blankenship. James Kerr will hold on to 3rd place. And John Smeal, some really good stage points in 4th. Noah Belleville 5th, Toby Estes 6th, Bryn Roberts 7th, then Donald Ray, Jeremy Brayo, and Dustin Payne are rounding out the top 10. Elrich George will be the lucky dog recipient this time. The pit stop's taking place. Elrich George will get hit lucky dog here. So that'll be 14 cars on the lead lap. James Kerr, the first car out of pit lane. So James Kerr will inherit the race lead here. First time he's been in the race lead in what feels like ages. Our Fontana race winner for all the way back in March. Now back up front as everyone might be considering taking a wave around here to gain a lap here. Patrick Allen would be on the lead lap if he took a wave around here. Alrighty, we are about to go back to racing here with James Kerr choosing the outside lane. It'll be John Smeal on the inside of row 1 in second place. Then you have Blankenship and Sears row 2, Belleville and Estes row 3. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see what they can do here. It's Smeal leading over Kerr, Blankenship and Sears. Green flag in the air, and away we go. And Smeal immediately got pushed to the outside lane by Blankenship. Three wide. Going down the back straightaway, they narrowed it down to 2 wide, going into turn 3. But Kerr, Blankenship, Belleville looking up for the back. Donald Ray trying to move himself closer to the late race lead here. Teammates side by side. It was Ray and Sears. Now Sears driving back behind Toby Estes, it looks like. Through turn 1, Sears being completely abandoned on the outside lane. He'll drop several spots. Stage 3 underway. Donald Ray moving to the inside of John Smeal. Estes will follow him. Blankenship got moved to the top side by Belleville. That's the battle for second place. Still side by side, multiple rows deep. Blankenship tried the side draft Belleville, and he'll still lose second place firmly to Belleville. Belleville now has to chase down Kerr. Kerr on that pit stop in the stage break took fuel only, excuse me. Did not take tires at all in that stop. So there will be a point in time where Kerr will have a disadvantage, as it's still a battle for second place between Blankenship and Belleville. Blankenship now in the inside lane. Belleville up top. Little bit of contact, some elbows out action between the two of them. Coming out of 4, Belleville's got the advantage right now as they both close in on James Kerr. Keep an eye on the 41 of Belleville. He's gotten to the outside of Kerr. Kerr cannot close the door. Side by side for the race lead. Belleville trying to hold on. Blankenship had nothing he could do except for help Kerr. And now Belleville's going to go for the race lead. Belleville to the front. Pole sitter back leading. Blankenship to second. And now Kerr begins to slide backwards. Top 2 have gone around him. And they're going to slug it out. Side draft, the name of the game in this car. Who leads this lap? Blankenship does. It's Blankenship, Belleville. Belleville trying to take the lead back. He's got it entering 1. Donald Ray almost made it a pretty interesting 3-wide situation, but he checked up just enough. But now they're going to battle. It's Ray and Wanzing. As Kerr drops out of the top 6. Belleville holds on. Second place, 2 wide behind him. 42 laps to go. Belleville now to throw from Wanzing. Donald Ray in 4th. Toby Estes sits 5th. Dustin Painter back down to the top 10. He's in 6th. John Smeal 7th. Brayo 8th. Feemster 9th. Sears 10th. Someone just went straight to the bottom lane. That may have been Kerr. No, it wasn't Kerr. That was Jason Alexander. That's who it was. The 53 of Alexander. Really good save by him. Battle for second. Belleville and Wanzing. Donald Ray again trying to get around the 41. See if he can do that. Belleville holds on to second place. Estes trying to get around Wanzing for third place. Will do so. And he'll clear. Belleville holding on to that second place. Top six, single file for a moment. Donald Ray trying to get around Wanzing. Pushes Wanzing up the track. So Donna Ray ahead of Wanzing. Dustin Painter ahead of Wanzing. One driver out of this race, Josh Gaiman. He's out after 71 laps. Donald Ray had an issue there. Donald Ray had a significant issue there. He's going to get passed by Breo. And there's Brendan Roberts. A really big issue for Donald Ray. He drops down to 8th place. Oh, here we go. Battle for the race lead. Belleville to the inside of Jacob Blankenship. He wants to lead back. Can he get it? He needs to be able to get it done. Hanging it around the inside. Belleville leads that lap. 33 laps to go. Belleville, Blankenship, Estes. Top three. Dustin Painter, 4th. Wanzing in 5th. Painter trying to close in. Same with Wanzing. They had to check up a little bit for Donald Ray. Ray sits in 8th. We know a pit stop still in this stage. The question is when in this stage. Survey says it's going to be within between laps 115 to laps 120. The question is when. How early do you pit? Because the undercut seemed to have done a lot of damage that first stage, and no one stuck with it for stage 2. It could be a significant key to this race. Especially if you're like Estes and Blankenship trying to have an answer for Belleville. Painter has closed the gap. He's within a second. Breo's trying to close as well. 1.6 between Belleville and Breo. Keeping an eye on Belleville as he tries to pull away. Estes actually trying to go for second place on Blankenship. He will do so. Ooh, watch out, Obi. Toby Estes almost lost it out of 4. He holds on to second, but he's a little bit further back from Belleville. Less than 30 laps to go. We believe the pit windows are within the next 10 laps. Who's going to blink first in pit? And then who reacts to it? Belleville trying to walk away with this. Again, one pit stop left to make. Sears may have been the first one to blink. Sears is in pit lane. Does anyone blink with him? We're going to see. Estes might be the one to blink if he does. He is coming down pit lane, and so will Painter. Painter almost missed pit entry. Ooh, Donald Ray did miss it. A lot of cars came down pit lane all of a sudden. And it threw a lot of people off. Blankenship leads. So pit stops. Everyone reacting to Tom Sears. Does Blankenship stay out or does he come in? Same question for Breo. How long do they run? And Blankenship comes in. Really smart pit entry system there. Ooh, Breo almost lost it. Was able to keep it together and got in within the commitment cone. Donald Ray kind of stuck running around the outside here. So Donald Ray leads with 25 to go. Ryan Pinnell second, Albert George third, Kevin Feemster fourth, John Smeal fifth. Feemster and Smeal in pit lane. Ray comes in, as does Patrick Allen. Ryan Pinnell leading a lap here at Las Vegas. Albert George right behind him. Two cars yet to pit. You see Belleville holding on to what would provisionally become the race lead here. Belleville and Estes going at it. Ryan Pinnell getting passed by Belleville and Estes. They're getting their laps back as they kind of run it down. It is these two well and truly on their own at the moment. It's a 2-second gap between them and Blankenship. And they were some of the first to pit. "21 laps to go." Pinnell in pit lane. Belleville leads Estes. Go side by side between these two for the front of the field. There's a pack behind Blankenship. It's about 4 cars big. Teammates, Blankenship and Roberts, 3rd and 4th, Brayo 5th, Painter in 6th. Estes currently leads. This is the battle for 3rd. Teammates 3rd and 4th. Brayo 5th. Painter in 6th. Wansing 7th. Sears in 8th. Sears was the first one to pit. And then Donald Ray in 9th. Smeal 10th. "17 laps to go." Five cars in this battle. Wansing on the charge. Wansing trying to get around. That is Painter. They were side by side. Wansing will get around him. Roberts got around his teammate Blankenship. Brayo wants to do the same. 1MA Racing, Team Sideswipe, and Team Outlaw all in this group of 5. That was a lot of smoke from somebody. That was John Smeal. "14 laps to go." This is the battle for the race lead. Estes and Belleville going at it. For Estes, he is looking for his 3rd race win of the season. Belleville's looking for his 1st. It's a car pulling off. I believe that was Smeal. It was Smeal. Smeal trying to get out of everyone's way as much as he can. Battle for the lead. Almost potential lead change with 12 to go. And they're holding each other really tight. Still side by side. Belleville trying to get this race lead. Estes almost tagged the wall there. Belleville's walking away half a second with 9 laps to go. Toby Estes, can he respond in any way, shape, or form in that number 19? Blanchard is closing in. Blanchard trying to chase down Estes with 8 laps to go. The top 3 in your screen. However brief that was. Brea holds on to 4th. Bryn Roberts holds on to a top 5 as it sits at the moment, coming to 7 to go. Ryan Pennell up to 9th place, battling with, I believe, that's Matthew Kent, who's a lap down, not on the lead lap. But Ryan Pennell, a really good run. 9th place for him. But Belleville leads this race. Caution's out. It's for Wanzing. Oh, Wanzing almost got drilled by, I think that was Tom Sears. This changes everything. We're going to have a green white checkered, I believe. What happened to Seth Wanzing? Oh, he got tagged by Painter. Oh, a hard hit by Painter. And both cars out of control. So broken suspension for both of them. We'll have to go back a little bit earlier to see what happened to Dustin Painter here. Painter may have just gotten loose. Yeah, Painter, you hear him slide. And he just gets loose. So this is a big deal on board with Wanzing. And that's the impact immediately. And there's another one that's not pleasant. You can see him immediately gets down off the racetrack onto the apron. Blanchard leads. Blanchard pit on lap 109. He stayed out here. Bradley Wright, I believe, has not yet pit. Bryn Roberts took 2 tires. Noah Belleville took 4. Estes took 4. Breo took 4. Ray took 4. Pennell took 4. Smeal took 2. Feemster took 4. A lot of cars took 4 except for Bryn Roberts and John Smeal. How will that play out? Does that matter? That's going to be an interesting conversation that we're going to see unfold here. But Blanchard staying out. He's taking the gamble of hoping that the field doesn't hold itself together. Trends say, when we have a caution, we have another one right after. Does that happen here? That's the big question. Trends so far say yes. Fourth caution for an incident. This time Wanzing and Painter involved. Wanzing on the lead lap, last car on the lead lap, so he got bailed out. Painter in 8th. So both of them are able to recover here without losing a lap. Smeal went back down pit lane. Patrick Allen also in pit lane here, 13th and 14th. I believe John Smith, the last of the cars on the lead lap. Patrick Allen, the first car, the only car 1 lap down. So there's a possibility if a quick yellow comes out on this restart that Patrick Allen could get a back on lead lap and could potentially, depending on how the cards fall, end up in the top 10 here. Blankenship chooses the inside lane. Roberts on the outside lane. Blankenship did not pit. Roberts took 2 tires only. Everyone else has 4 tires on their cars. We're on lap 32. This is not a green white checker, by the way. This is a green white checker, but it's not an overtime attempt. I should clarify. We're on lap 32. We're going green with 2 to go, naturally. So this is not an attempt at overtime, which means we still have 3 overtime finishes if we have to use them. They are available. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We're gonna find out, though. We got a lot of cars, a lot of teams, a lot of drivers with championship ambitions on the line here, and everyone's gonna do something a little bit different. It's going to be teammates in the front of the field. For how long is the interesting question, and how aggressive is Belleville going to be? How aggressive is Estes going to be? We know how aggressive Breo's going to be. Breo's one of those, well, he's one of the mentors of the philosophy, no attack, no chance. But what can he do from 5th? Pace car in the pit lane. Another choreographed restart there. Blankenship leads them into turn 1. Roberts doing everything he could to side draft Belleville, but it's not going to be enough. 2 tires versus 4. 4 every time. Blankenship tried pinching. It could almost be a throughout situation. Belleville wants his first race win. He does not want to be denied. And older tires mean nothing right now. Blankenship's going to fall backwards. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Belleville leads. Roberts in 2nd. Estes in 3rd. 1.5 miles to make it happen. Estes sends it to the inside, but he drifts up. And this could be pandemonium. Everyone holds on to it. We are racing to the finish. Roberts holds on to 2nd, but can he hold on out of 4? Has to check up. Understeer. Belleville's gonna come to the line. Noah Belleville is a race winner. He takes Las Vegas. Oh, what a huge crash. Belleville wins. And the field scatters after the line. Breo, Donald Ray, Ryan Pennell. But Noah Belleville, finally a race winner here in Las Vegas. Belleville, Estes, and Brent Roberts should podium tonight. Noah Belleville has worked so hard for this. He's won in Indy Arcs. He's won in Saturday Night Showdown. He's won in TNT. And now he's an A-squared race winner. He did what he needed to do. Did it with class. And he's a race winner tonight. Burn it down. No, you've earned it. Noah Belleville, race winner here in Las Vegas. Spoiling the party. No one locks in to the playoffs, to the championship 4 from this race. Everyone has to go at least one more race before determining if anyone locks themselves in to the championship 4. Noah Belleville, the perfect spoiler, blows the engine off of it, but he's a race winner tonight. Well done by Noah Belleville. Fantastic job tonight. He did a phenomenal job. We're going to start with third place for our interview here. I'm going to start with Bryn Roberts. Bryn, this is Clayton from the Arcs Racing booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Clayton.
Alrighty, another podium here. Win, podium, win, podium. I think I see how New Hampstead's next week's going to go.
I hope so.
Right? Frantic race, 2-tire stop there at the end. Gives you enough to hold on to that P2. That was a pretty interesting race. Strategy calls being considered. 2-tire stop. How did the tires feel they were going at the end? And what made the 2-tire stop the stop you wanted to do?
They didn't feel very good, first of all. I thought I was going to wreck a lot those last 2 laps, but the 2-tire stop, I just decided I just wanted to send it. I knew Jacob was out there on old tires because he didn't have any left in the pits. So I figured I could probably get the run on the high side. I figured he would probably spin the tires on the bottom, and I knew if I could get clear, I probably could get it, but I just had a terrible restart and didn't get clear right there. So congrats to Noah. I know Noah's been waiting a long time to get a win. So congrats to him. He's a nice, clean racer. I enjoy racing with him. So I'm just happy for him.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job tonight. Obviously, he started on pole position. You had a pretty interesting race. You were up 8 spots there from where you started. Looking at it, finishing third place here after winning last week, looking at Homestead next week. You and Noah have been the 2 most persistent spoilers of the party. Looking at it, this is like the last pretty big oval on the calendar, then it's short ovals finish out the season. How do you feel going into Homestead knowing that everyone knows your name at this point? Everyone knows you're going to be there to show up. You're going to be a top 5 contender. How excited are you for Homestead? And how much, obviously this car keeps changing. It seems like there's always something small that's changing every single update here. This car, going to Homestead for the first time, it's uncharted territory for most. Have you had any experience with this car? And how do you feel like that race is going to suit how you drive this car going in next week?
It just depends. I hope to get some more laps in this car next week at Homestead. I went to this race with none. So, this one was tough. I know you said I was up 8 spots, where I actually ran the entire race. Felt like I was up 20. So, I just hopefully Homestead's a little better than this. I know I had the finish, but I definitely finished higher than what I deserved, for sure.
Regardless, where you spent most of the race, it's where the end that matters there. Were you expecting that we were possibly looking at overtime finish? Because we didn't have an overtime finish there, I don't believe. Do you believe that there was a possibility that was going to be an issue? And do you think that would have helped you out a little bit more?
No, I was hoping it would go green. I felt like my best chance was just getting a good restart there beside Jacob, and I didn't get it. Once I was beside Noah, I knew my race was probably over, but I decided I was going to send it on the high side and hope I didn't wreck and hope I didn't take anybody with me. So I basically said checkers or wreckers. I didn't get checkers. I didn't wreck. So I'm kind of just in the middle, a little disappointed.
Hey, you did a phenomenal job holding on to it because both Noah and Toby, they were elbows out there at the end there. Brent, obviously, these last couple months have been insane. Obviously, 2 race wins here in A squared. Your team's done a phenomenal job across the board. Saturday Night Showdown, A squared, Indy Arcs. Your team is constantly out front and battling. with Homestead next week. Obviously, I know you and Jacob are going to be there. Jacob's in that championship hunt still, very much in the championship hunt. But if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, Bryn, the floor is all yours. Congrats again, another podium here. Second in a row as a Chevy driver, so welcome to the Bowtie Club. But the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just thank you, Clayton, for what you do, broadcasting this, and I just want to say thank you to the guys who race clean. You know, Noah and Toby specifically, because they're the names that I see in the waiting room. But there's more people out there. Just thanks to the guys who race clean, because I'm not too happy with certain people that race this series on a weekly basis, the way they race. So they're gonna get it back. They started to get it back today, so they're gonna get it back from here on out.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to it. We're going to be keeping an eye on everything around that number 58 now a little bit more. I noticed the scheme change, and it's on theme now that all that makes sense. But Bryn, congrats again. Third place finish. Obviously, we're not going to see you on Wednesday because we're off Wednesday, but can't wait to see what you put together next week at Homestead, man. Enjoy the podium and get ready for next week.
Hey, thank you, Clayton. Have a good night.
Yep, you too, man. That was Bryn Roberts, our third place finisher here tonight. Got beat to the line barely. We saw him get beat to the line barely by Toby Estes. We're going to talk to him how in just a second. Toby, this is Clayton from the Arcs Racing booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, P2. You won a stage. Almost got the win, which would have been very beneficial. It would have taken a lot of stress off the next 2 weeks. That being said, you are still leading the championship. Going into Homestead, knowing that you have Homestead and Martinsville left, how confident do you feel that you can possibly get yourself locked in next week at Homestead, knowing that that is the last mile and a half, after having a really good and very competitive car tonight?
Well, obviously, if I would have won tonight, I'd go into it feeling a lot better. Homestead is all right. Did you say Martinsville after Homestead, right?
Yeah, Martinsville is the cutoff race, yeah.
I'm pretty consistent at Martinsville, but I mean Homestead's all right. I think it's going to be kind of like tonight, kind of save your stuff, and it'll be some good racing, but disappointed nonetheless tonight. Really sucked, but it was good racing with Noah there, so good to see. You know, you can run tight with somebody and beat and bang a little bit and still be able to race.
Yeah, obviously you were one of the people that were here the first time we raced here, and it was a completely different car then. How much better was it coming here this late in the year now versus what was at the beginning of the season? Because obviously Brent wasn't here then, Noah wasn't here then. You're kind of one of the guys that's been here all season long. That's why you're in the championship hunt, because you are that consistent presence. How different was the car? How much better do you feel like the car was tonight versus last time you were here when it seemed like it was more cranking loose? Did it get tighter? Like, what all was going on in the car tonight?
Honestly, it felt like old Atlanta. It was just really slick on exit. The beginning of the run, if you tried to push it too hard, I mean, it was gonna get tight in the apex of the corners. But I mean, the car this race versus when we raced it here last time, it's more of a driver car. You know, you gotta kind of drive this car more. So I like that aspect of it. It's a really fun racetrack. I mean, you just gotta drive it. I mean, I don't know how hard it is. I'm sure it's pretty hard to drive on controller as well, but I know my hands and arms are sore because I mean it's a handful.
It looked it. Obviously, not everyone had the best race in the world. Matthew Kent had a bit of problems. Josh Gaiman out of this race because he completely lost the car there. It just seemed to be a handful all the way around. But with Homestead next week, you know, like, and I guess going into the round of four, again, you are the championship leader, so you do have a little bit of buffer there. But, you know, looking at these next two races, Martinsville, you said you seem to be pretty consistent at. It is a track where anything can happen, and it's one of the more physical tracks on the calendar. With that benefiting the more aggressive drivers, how much do you feel like you need to kind of adapt and adjust these drivers? Because we haven't been to Martinsville in a while. And again, this car's changed, so it handles contact a lot differently. How different do you feel like your approach is going to be come Martinsville, just trying to keep your car safe?
Well, you're gonna find out real quick who you can race around, and who you
Yeah.
can't. It's got its. I mean, it could be either a really good race or a complete shit show. I mean, that aspect of it's totally left up to the drivers. But even if I would have won tonight, I would have went to the next race and tried my best to compete for a win again. And then the following race, I mean, at this point, it's yeah. If you don't have a car to win it, then do the best you can. But every playoff driver that goes into a race would lie to you if they're not trying to win every race, even if they're locked in or not. So
Yeah, you were close to doing that tonight. Again, got a lot of really good stage points out of it, so it really helped boost your the gap you have to the bottom now of the playoff group. But Toby, obviously, really good battle there all race long. It was fun seeing you try to save your stuff. You're one of the masters of doing that of the field tonight. So really good job. If there's anyone you want to shout out and you want to say thank you to, obviously, Briley, I don't think had the best race in the world. He's probably going to say at this things that he probably could have done better. But still a really good team effort all the way around. The floor is yours, Toby. You can take it away.
yeah, shout out to Bradley. Me and him put a lot of laps in here, and we had a strategy going out into the first caution, and I think he ended up speeding. He said he didn't. I mean, it happens. Either iRacing glitched or whatever, but I think it really would have played out if we wouldn't have had that caution because we were going to cycle around to be 1 and 2, I believe. But I hate it for him. I mean, again, shout out to Noah for some good racing. So congrats to him on finally getting the dub. I think, is it his first A squared race?
Yeah, it is his
win?
first A squared race win, yeah.
Yeah, so congrats to him. I'm sure there'll be plenty more coming from that kid. I mean, he's pretty damn good. So definitely a guy to keep your eye on for next year. But shout out to you and all the admins for putting this stuff on, man.
I appreciate it. It's obviously a lot of fun every time we get to see you and Briley kind of light it up. But Toby, enjoy the podium for what it is. You are championship leader, which I don't think we've said that much this year. So you've got a firm championship lead going into Homestead next week. So enjoy it and get ready for Homestead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Have a good night, man. Alrighty. And now it's time for the man of the hour, Noah Belleville, on his first race win. Noah, this is Clayton from the Arcs Racing booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
It's about time. You're a race winner now in every major series in Arcs. You've won it in TNT, you won it in Indy Arcs, you won it in Saturday Night Showdown, and now you're a winner in A Squared. You've got the Grand Slam and race wins. How does it feel to finally get that off your shoulders and finally be in victory lane?
Dude, finally got him! Woo! Dude, after the Bristol finish, I mean, missing it by .002, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And, it feels so good. I finally got the A square win. 5 second place finishes before I finally got the win. I mean, holy crap. But yeah, I was sitting pretty before that final caution, and when that came out, I was like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. It's happening all over again. I'm gonna get second. It's gonna happen. I know it. but Blank Ship, he was out of tires, so he had to stay out there, and Bren took 2. So I kind of figured I'd start behind Blank Ship, and if I could time it right and give Blank Ship a shove, we could push him out in front of Bren, and then Bren wouldn't be a problem, and then I could just pick Blankenship off, and that's how it worked out. And dude, finally.
Yeah, obviously, and obviously we've talked a lot about it because obviously you've been second a lot. We talked about obviously Bristol, but you look beyond Bristol. You look at Richmond. You look at Richmond. You look at Michigan. Like, there's a lot of races that you've been competitive in. Even if you haven't finished second, you've been there. You had pole tonight, which I think is your first pole of the season.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
I believe it was. So it was kind of like, okay, this is new. Now it's like, okay, he's got pace out of the gate. How good did the car feel to you tonight? Obviously, you're on a controller, so there's an immediate handicap there. But how good did the car feel for you tonight? Because even no matter, you could put it middle, you could put it low, you could put it on the white line, you could put it near the wall. You were making it stick kind of wherever, and not too many people were able to do that tonight. How did you feel in the car to be able to make that happen? And you had to go through traffic a few times to do that too.
Yeah, I love the car tonight. This track, the way it drives is kind of my style. It's very loose on the long runs. It's very tire saving dependent. And that's kind of what I did. I never ran a lap at 100%. Every lap that I ran, I was saving tires. The only lap I ran 100% was the last lap. And it was working. I never got that really snappy loose on the long runs like a lot of the other guys were getting. And I had a really good long run car. I was saving my tires really good. And it worked out. And that's kind of the races that I like. And Miami next week, with how rough that surface is, it's probably going to be the same way. And so I'm really excited for next week.
Yeah, obviously, it's going to be a good race. These races where you have to do a little bit more to save your stuff you can see who's good on the short runs, who's good on the long runs, and we had a little bit of both tonight.
Yeah.
No, like your first race win at the right time. You playing spoiler. You've been again up front most of the races you've been in, at least as of the last few months. Again, you're now a race winner in all 4 major series and ARCs. Going into these last 3 races, now you've got it. You look at the next 3 races: Homestead, Martinsville, Phoenix. Martinsville is going to be probably insane. But you look at Phoenix, where you will have to save some stuff. There's a good chance you could end up with 2 race wins before this is over. Just kind of explain for those that are watching, because again, we know, like everyone in ARCS knows, for those that are watching at home, how difficult has it been mentally? Just kind of sitting and waiting for months, because this goes all the way back to April. How difficult has it been?
I don't know. It's a little stressful, but I'm not really racing for anything. You know, I'm running part-time in every series I'm in, and I'm not running for points or anything. So it's just all about trophy hunting right now. And I race enough with these guys and race enough in these series that I don't really have anything to prove. There's nothing that I want to prove. So I kind of approach these races as just like, hey, if we go on and win, we win. Great, that's going to be awesome. If we don't, we'll try again next week. And it helps a lot.
Well, it all paid off tonight. Pole position, most laps led, and the race win tonight, Noah. Before we let you go and then let you enjoy this race win, it's a big one for you. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Race winner tonight here in Las Vegas, man.
Yep, thanks. Shout out to you again, always. Always shout out to you for putting these streams on. Always glad to have you. And shout out to all the guys who put the race on. I know they put a lot of money and time into setting up these lobbies and running this league. And this is the first league that I joined, and it stuck. And it's a great place to come and race. It's a great group of people. Shout out to everyone in ARCS for just being some of the best people to race with. And shout out to everyone that is watching. And looking forward to next week.
Alrighty, Noah. Well, enjoy the race win. It was well earned. Can't wait to see what you can do over the next week or so as everything keeps going on close to the championship weekend.
Yeah, thanks. I need a tow truck. I'm blown up on the front stretch, so I did too much of a burnout.
Oh, we saw that, Noah, but a well-earned burnout, well-earned race win, Noah. Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you, Clayton.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
That was Noah Belleville, our race winner here tonight. He's a center of your screen on the start-finish line. Had a burnout of the ages to go for it. Really good job by Noah Belleville. Toby Estes in second. and Bryn Roberts in third. Looking at the full race results here in Nevada, it's Belleville, Estes, Roberts top 3. Donald Ray, another top 5. Jeremy Breo in 5th, round out the top 5 for Team Sideswipe. Dustin Painter in 6th. Stage 1, kept himself in contention. A good top 6 finish here for Dustin Painter. Ryan Pinnell in 7th. A really good run for him. Another top 10 on the road for the Team Sideswipe driver. Rich George, the Bahama Bullet, finishing 8th. Had to race his way in, and raced his way into the top 10. Seth Wansing, car number 9, finishes P9 for the Team Sideswipe team ahead of Jacob Blankenship, who could only manage 10th on older tires on that last restart. James Kerr, 11th. Kevin Feemster, 12th. John Smeal, the last car on the lead lap, in 13th. Patrick Allen, the only car 1 lap down, in 14th. He finished ahead of Tom Sears, Matthew Kent, Jason Alexander, and Briley Wright, who were 15th through 18th respectively. 19th, Tommy Withers, and the only car out of this race, Josh Gaiman, unfortunately out of this race, finishing only 71 laps in this race. But a well-earned fight for Noah Belleville. It's a well-earned race win for him. His first race win in A squared. He's now a winner in all 4 major competitions. 3 races left. Next week, it is Homestead Miami Speedway, the second race in the round of 8. On behalf of ARC's Darkside Mustangs, Indy Chevrolet, and Midwest Barbecue, this is the Darkside Mustangs A Square Cup Series from ARC's Racing Networks. I'm Clayton Hardy. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a fun week. We'll see you next Sunday at Homestead. So long, everybody.